Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel Legal Decipher. In the previous video, we had discussed about Chapter 9A of the Indian Penal Code 1860. If you have not seen that video, you can go and check it. The link is in the description below. In today's video, we are going to discuss about Chapter 10 of the Indian Penal Code. We'll go through the chapter and try to understand the substance therein. So if you are new here, please like and subscribe to my channel so you can get the video notifications. So let's get started. So today we are going to discuss about chapter 10 that talks about contempts of the lawful authority of public servants. So this chapter basically focuses on the public servants whose lawful authority is to perform a certain act and he contempts from such lawful authority. Now the offences that are covered by this chapter may conveniently be divided under the following 6 heads. So what are the 6 heads? The first kind is that omission to perform public duty. So sections 172 to 176 and 187 talks about any kind of omission from a public duty that was supposed to be performed by the public servant. The second head is that refusal to do certain acts. Section 178 to 180 deals with this head, where certain acts were to be done by the public servant but he refused to do so. The third head is of furnishing false information. Sections 177, 181 and 182 talks about this head, where a false information is furnished. Section 185 talks about illegal purchase of property, that is a different head of offense, and obstructing or disobeying orders of public servant, that is dealt with by section 183, 184, 186, 188. So these 4 sections talk about obstructing or disobeying any order of any public servant. And the last head is threat to public servant. So whoever threatens a public servant, that is covered under section 189 and 190. Now first understand section 172. It punishes a person who absconds in order to avoid service of summons. So if a person is absconding to avoid a service of summon, notice or order upon him, or he fails to produce a document in a court, then section 172 will be punishing him. The term abscond has been given wide meaning which covers all cases of evasion. So what is the punishment under section 172? It says that this person who is so absconding the service of summons, he will be punished with simple imprisonment which may extend to 6 months, or with fine which may extend to 1000 rupees, or with both. Now section 173 talks about penalizing the intentional prevention of service of summons, notice or order. So whoever intentionally prevents the service of summon, notice or order upon him, then he will be punished under section 173. Now section 173 penalizes intentional prevention of service of summons, notice or order. So whoever intentionally prevents the service of summon, notice or order, he will be punished under section 173, and he will be punished with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 1 month, or with fine which may extend to 500 rupees, or with both. Now if the summon, notice or order or proclamation is to attend in person or by agent, or it was for production of a document or electronic record in a court of justice, then that person will be punished with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months, or with fine which may extend to 1000 rupees, or with both, if he commits an offence under section 173. Now section 174 and section 174A both applies to cases where there is omission to appear by a person at a particular time and a particular place before a public servant in obedience to a summons, notice, order or proclamation issued in accordance with law. So whoever omits to appear by person, so he was ordered to be appeared in person, at a particular time and a particular place before a public servant, so that the summon, notice, order or proclamation that was issued upon him was complied with, and this person omitted to appear by person before such public servant at that particular time and particular place, then he will be dealt with under section 174 and 174A. Now 174 is a general section and 174 talks about proclamation under section 82 of Act 2 of 1974. Now under section 174, the person who has so omitted to appear in person will be punished with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months, or with fine which may extend to 1000 rupees, or with both. And under section 174A, that person will be punished with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years, or with fine, or with both. And where a declaration has been made under subsection 4 of that section, that is section 82 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973, then under subsection 4 of section 82, if he is pronounced as a proclaimed offender, then he shall be punished under section 174A of IPC with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 7 years, and shall also be liable to fine. Now section 175 covers cases of a person who fails to produce document before a public servant, though he is legally bound to do so. So that person was legally bound to produce a document before a public servant, but he failed to do so. In that case, he will be punished with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 1 month, or with fine which may extend to 500 rupees, or with both. And if the document or electronic record that is to be so produced or delivered before a court of justice, then he will be punished with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months, or with fine which may extend to 1000 rupees, or with both. Now section 176 seeks to punish persons who are under legal obligation to furnish certain information to public servants and fail to furnish such information. So section 176 deals with those persons who are legally obliged to furnish certain information to the public servants, but they fail to furnish such information. Then that person will be punished with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 1 month, or with fine which may extend to 500 rupees, or with both. Or if the notice or information required to be given respects the commission of an offence. So if the information was of a offence that was in commission, or it was for the purpose of preventing the commission of an offence in order to apprehend the offender, then in that case, failing to furnish such information will be punished with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months, or with fine which may extend to 1000 rupees, or with both. Or if the notice or information required to be given is required by an order under subsection 1 of section 565 of the Code of Criminal Procedure of 1898, not the present Code of Criminal Procedure, the 1898 version, then with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 6 months, or with fine which may extend to 1000 rupees, or with both. Now we will come back to section 177 when we read the third head of furnishing false information, where section 181 and 182 also come with section 177. So these three sections are a group and they fall under the head of furnishing false information. So we will come back to this section later. Let's now understand section 178, 179 and 180, which talks about refusal to do certain acts. So according to section 178, this section punishes a person who refuses to take oath or affirmation to state the truth when he is called upon to do so by a competent public servant. So a competent public servant has called upon that person that you come before me and you take oath and affirmation to state the truth, and this person refused to take such oath or affirmation, then section 178 will punish this person with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months, or with fine which may extend to 1000 rupees, or with both. Now section 179 talks about punishment for making refusal to answer a question. So if the person is refusing to answer a question which is relevant to the subject concerning, and to which the public officer is authorized to inquire. So we are talking about a subject matter in which the public officer is authorized to inquire, and the question is relevant to the concerned subject matter. Still, the person who is to answer such question makes refusal, he refuses to answer to that question, then he shall be punishable under section 179, and he will be punished with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months, or with fine which may extend to 1000 rupees, or with both. Now section 180 talks about penalizing a person who refuses to sign a statement made by him by a competent public servant. So when a person has refused to sign a statement that is made to him, when he was asked to sign it, then that person will be punished under section 180 with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 months, or with fine which may extend to 500 rupees, or with both. Now let's move on to furnishing false information. So we move back to section 177 that falls under this head of furnishing false information, and section 177 talks about penalizing a person who is under an obligation to supply correct and true information but supplies false information. So this person was under an obligation, he had to supply correct and true information, but he did not, he supplied false information. So in that case, section 177 will punish this person with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months, or with fine which may extend to 1000 rupees, or with both. Now if such information that this person was bound to give was in regard to a commission of an offence, and it was required for the purpose of preventing the commission of an offence in order to apprehend the offender, then in that case, if such person has given any or furnished any false information, then section 177 will punish this person with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 2 years, or with fine, or with both. In section 176 and in this section, the word offence includes any act committed at any place out of India, which if committed in India would be punishable under any of the following sections, namely these sections, and the word offender includes any person who is alleged to have been guilty of any such act. So the word offence includes all the offences that are committed at any place out of India as well as if it was committed in India. So it will have the same effect. It doesn't matter whether it is committed within the territories or without the territories of India, and would be punishable under any of these following sections that are mentioned here. And the word offender includes any person who is alleged to have been guilty of any such act. Now let's move on to section 181 and 182. 181 applies when a person makes a false statement on oath or affirmation. So this person was on oath or affirmation, and he was to make a true statement under such oath or affirmation, but he made a false statement under such oath or affirmation, and that is why section 181 will punish this person with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 3 years and shall also be liable to fine. Now section 182 covers cases of giving false information to a public servant which misleads him in doing an act which he ought not to do. So the offence is complete as soon as false information is given by the person, and it is not necessary that the public officer must have acted on such information. So what does section 182 say? It covers those cases of giving false information to a public servant that will mislead such public servant in doing an act that he was not supposed to do or not ought to do. So he basically misled him with his false information, and the public servant lost track and he is now doing something that he was not supposed to do. So this person who gave such false information to that public servant will be dealt with section 182. Now the offence under section 182 of giving such false information is complete as soon as false information is given by the person. It is not necessary whether the public officer must have acted on such information or not. So the public officer may act in regard to that false information or not. He may have acted or he may not have acted. As soon as the false information was given, it will be thought that such person had that motive. He had that mens rea. He wanted that public servant or officer to act according to that false information. So he has already committed the crime. Whether in pursuance to that any act was done by such public officer or not is not necessary. And this person who gave such false information will be punished under section 182 with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 6 months, or with fine which may extend to 1000 rupees, or with both. Now let's move on to section 185, that comes under the head of illegal purchase of property. So only one section covers that head. It provides punishment for illegal purchase or bid of property offered for sale under the authority of a public servant. So section 185 talks about any person who at any sale of property that is held by a lawful authority of a public servant. So a public servant in his lawful authority is holding a sale of property, and any person purchasing or bidding for any such property on account of any person, whether himself or any other, after knowing that such person for whom that purchase is made or that bid is given is in no legal capacity to purchase such property, then that person will be committing a crime under section 185, and he shall be punished with imprisonment for either description for a term which may extend to 1 month, or with fine which may extend to 200 rupees, or with both. Now let's move on to section 183. Now section 183, 184, 186 and 187 deals with obstructing or disobeying orders of public servant. So it comes under the head of obstructing or disobeying orders of public servant. So whoever resists the taking of property by the lawful authority of a public servant will be punished under section 183. So section 183 punishes those persons who are resisting the lawful authority of a public servant to take a property, and they will be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 6 months, or with fine which may extend to 1000 rupees, or with both. Now section 184 penalizes a person who intentionally obstructs sale of property by a public servant, and this person will be punished with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 1 month, or with fine which may extend to 500 rupees, or with both. Section 186 punishes a person who voluntarily obstructs a public servant in discharge of his public function, and this person will be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 3 months, or with fine which may extend to 500 rupees, or with both. And section 187 applies to cases of persons who are bound by law to assist public servant in the discharge of their public duty but intentionally omit to assist them. So this person was lawfully bound to assist a public servant, but he intentionally omitted to assist him. So this person will be punished with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 1 month, or with fine which may extend to 200 rupees, or with both. But if such assistance was demanded of him by a public servant in executing any process lawfully issued by a court of justice, so a court of justice has lawfully issued a process to be executed by such public servant, and this public servant required the assistance of a person, and that person did not assist him, or if the public servant tried to prevent the commission of an offence, or tried to suppress a riot or affray, or tried to apprehend a person charged with or guilty of an offence, or he tried to apprehend a person that has escaped from lawful custody, then in all these cases, if such public servant required the assistance of a person and that person omitted to assist him, then such person will be punished with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months, or with fine which may extend to 500 rupees, or with both. Now section 188 talks about punishment for disobedience of an order promulgated by a public servant lawfully empowered to do so in public interest. So if a public servant has lawfully promulgated an order for the public interest, then disobedience to such order makes that person punishable under section 188 if he disobeyed such direction, and if such disobedience causes or tends to cause obstruction, annoyance or injury, or risk of obstruction, annoyance or injury to any person who was lawfully employed, then this disobedience will be punished with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 1 month, or with fine which may extend to 200 rupees, or with both. And if such disobedience causes or tends to cause danger to human life, health or safety, or causes or tends to cause a riot or affray, then in these cases it shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 6 months, or with fine which may extend to 1000 rupees, or with both. Now the explanation says that it is not necessary that the offender should intend to produce harm or contemplate his disobedience as likely to produce harm. It is sufficient that he knows of the order which he disobeys and that his disobedience produces or is likely to produce the harm. So the knowledge is enough to constitute a crime under section 188. Now let's move on to the last head, that is threat to public servant, under which two sections come, that is section 189 and section 190. Section 189 provides punishment for holding out threat to a public servant with a view to inducing him to do or refrain from doing or to delay an official act. So whoever tries to threaten a public servant with the intention or view to induce him to do something or to refrain from doing something, or to delay an official act that he was supposed to perform. So in all those cases, that person who tried to so threaten the public servant of injury shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 2 years, or with fine, or with both. Now let's move on to the last section of this chapter, that is section 190, which talks about threat of injury to induce person to refrain from applying for protection to public servant. So it basically penalizes a person holding out any threat of injury to any person to prevent him from seeking protection from a public servant legally empowered to provide him protection. So say for example, a public servant is authorized and legally empowered to protect a particular person, and that person wanted to seek protection from such public servant. Now another person comes to this person and says that I will injure you, and he threatens this person with the fear of injury, that if you go and seek the assistance of a public servant, then I will cause injury or harm to you. Then for giving such threat of injury, this person who is so threatening will be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 1 year, or with fine, or with both. So that's all in this video. If you like my videos, then don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video.